Ready for dry January to be over, but ready to crush some intervals this morning. Cheers, y'all. It is Saturday. I am back at the track, but luckily I did not have to run here today. Just have some 800-meter sprints, so drove my way over to the track. Unlucky for me, it is about 4 degrees outside with the real feel, plenty of wind, so it should be another lovely day on the track, but looking forward to a tough workout. It has definitely been a brutal week of intervals, and then I do have my long run tomorrow, another 2 hours with some tempo runs worked into the middle. So all in all, brutal week, ready for dry January to be over, but ready to crush some intervals this morning. Whew. Very cold, all done. Maybe you can see some of the little frost crystals I accumulated in my beard, but I thought I was gonna die when I first got started. It was so cold, especially on my face. A lot further of a distance than I thought. I am sure tomorrow's long run is definitely gonna be tough, coming off of maybe my toughest week so far in 2021. But now let's head back inside and go through a full breakdown from this week's training. Cheers, y'all. We did it, or we've almost done it. It is officially the end of dry January, so this will be the last installment in the dry January vlog updates. But real quick, before we jump into this week's episode, I have to give a huge shout out to The Determined Runner as well as Run Free and Strong. Both of those two guys are other running vloggers on YouTube who answered my question last week about some snack ideas that I can incorporate into my diet, because if you watched last week's episode, you know that with the uptick in my mileage as well as the uptick in my intensity in training, I have just been starving. So huge thanks to both of them. Some great ideas for snacks that I can work into my diet to hopefully help mitigate some of that hunger. And now for this week's big question, I want you to answer down in the comments below. I want you to take a guess, now that we are at the end of January, what do you think my total mileage is going to come out to for the month? As a little bit of a clue, I will let you know once you get the total for this week. This was definitely my highest mileage week so far this month. So just take that into consideration when you're making your guesses. And whoever's comment comes closest, I'm going to get you one of these sweet I Run on Beer trucker hats available in our online store. So you got that going for you. So comment down below, what do you think my total mileage for the month of January was? Price is Right rules closest without going over. So make sure to take that into consideration as well. I'm going to close the bidding at midnight on February 1st. And like I said, whoever's closest, I'll go ahead and send you one of these hats. So stay tuned for that. And one last final announcement before we jump into the training for this week. Since it is the end of dry January, I've had to figure out some way to celebrate in style. So I will be going live on YouTube on Monday, February 1st in the evening to crack open that first beer after 31 days of sobriety. I am very excited. I'll be cracking open a 2019 bottle of Founders Brewing Canadian Breakfast Stout. If you would like to break the fast with me, enjoy that first February beer. I'll have the link down for that below so that you can tune in on February 1st to enjoy a nice, cold, refreshing beer and celebrate the end of dry January. Enough with the announcements. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into training. A quick caveat about this week. One, biking went out the window. I made the decision on Monday, or actually probably Sunday night last week, that I was not going to worry about biking this week. As I'm nearing the end of a running interval block, my legs are just fatigued, they're taxed, and I want to just dedicate my rest days to purely rest and stretching and recovery. I do want to incorporate biking as cross training again once this running interval session ends, but for now, just want to focus on the running, don't want to mix anything else in. And like I said, on those rest days, I really just want to rest. So that's a nice transition right into Monday, because Monday Tuesday was that first rest day after making that decision. So Monday was a full day of rest. No activity, no strength training, no nothing. I did work in my recovery routine, my rehab routine. If you missed that video I posted this past week, I encourage you to go check it out, especially if you're just looking for something you can incorporate into your training to help mitigate injuries in the future, help prevent them, and strengthen some of those core and stability muscles. You can check that video out as well. There's a link to that down below. So that's it for Monday, just full rest, really just focusing on recovering my legs and preparing for what was going to prove to be an incredibly difficult week of training. I am very happy recording this now that I'm almost done this week and only have one more week of interval training. I'm looking forward to dialing back the intensity moving forward past next week. Moving into Tuesday, the first running workout of the week. Pretty solid workout overall. It was 6 times 3-minute intervals with 6 minutes rest in between, so a lot of rest in between each interval. I was actually a little bit surprised that I wasn't able to hit this workout as hard as I was anticipating, but again, I've mentioned my legs are feeling pretty fatigued, so I started off relatively slow. I was at around a 6.5-minute pace for those 3-minute splits, but then definitely picked up the pace towards the end, sped up quite a bit during the back half of those intervals, but felt good. Again, legs are just constantly sore at this point, so any workout, I feel good about completing it and hitting anywhere close to the paces that I was hoping for. Overall distance for that run was 7.85 miles, and then just more stretching and recovery after that. Tuesday night was the night that we selected for me to cook my final new meal for the Dry January Challenge, and it was definitely the best meal to go out on. I think possibly the best meal that I made all month. Again, from the Runner's World cookbook, a homemade turkey and feta meatball, as well as homemade tomato sauce over penne pasta. Oh my gosh, it was incredible. It made plenty of servings, so I've had leftovers that I got to enjoy for lunch as well, but phenomenal recipe. I also think it would be really good as a meatball sub. The meatballs themselves just turned out incredibly, so I'm very excited to have that recipe under my belt now. Great way to close out the Dry January nutritional challenge, and definitely looking forward to continuing to make a lot of these recipes moving on throughout the rest of the year. Then we move into Wednesday, recovery run, just 40 minutes recovery run. I was very much looking forward to this run, just again to give my legs a little bit of a break and shake out some of that stiffness they've been experiencing. So just hit that one very easy, around a 10-17 pace. Again, the whole time trying to keep my heart rate under 140 beats per minute. Wednesday was also when I incorporated my first strength workout of the week. So just did a quick 10-minute core workout to make sure I knocked that out. Total mileage for that recovery run, 3.90 miles. Transitioning into Thursday. Thursday's workout is another one that I would categorize as a workout that I love to hate, but there's definitely more love than hate here. It is a brutally tough workout, but it feels so good once you've completed it. It's a ladder workout, so you're basically climbing your way up higher and higher intensity intervals, and doing that several times. What I mean by that is the structure of the run. It's 1 mile sprint, 1 mile rest, 2 mile sprint, 2 mile rest, 3 mile sprint, 3 mile rest, 4 mile sprint, 4 mile rest. Do that 3 times. The goal is basically to hit your running interval, your hardest pace that you can maintain for whatever the given duration is. So obviously you're running those 1-minute sprints a lot faster than you're running those 4-minute sprints, and trying to shift back and forth between different intensities, navigating what's the hardest thing that you can maintain for those intervals, and then remembering that you have to do that whole set 3 different times. A lot of different variables. It is definitely tough, but I felt awesome on this run. Don't get me wrong, it was definitely a struggle. By that last minute, last 30 seconds especially, I am usually dying. My legs are so sore. I can feel it in my stomach, in my chest, just heaving, breathing so heavily. So for the 1 minute, I was right around a 5:10 pace. I had 5:25 in the first one. You've probably noticed that in my first sets of sprints, I'm usually a little bit slower trying to gauge my ability, but pretty happy with how that turned out, hitting 5:10 and 5:14 on the second ones. For the 2-minute sprint, right around a 5:30 pace for all 3, a little bit fluctuation, but 5:30 was good for the 2 minutes. 3 minutes creeping a lot closer to 6 minute. I did keep it just under 6-minute pace for each one, literally by just a couple seconds, but felt really good there. And then for the 4-minute sprints, I was closer to 6:15, 6:20 pace. So overall, feel really great. I really like the consistency that I saw in those numbers. Doing this workout in the past, I usually am all over the place. I have a hard time finding that speed that I can maintain at the different intervals. So really excited with how that that workout turned out. Total distance for that run was 8.47 miles. Knowing that Friday was going to be another rest day and that I was going to have brutal workouts for the weekend, I still had a leg strength workout to get in, so I decided to do that on Thursday to give my legs time to recover before the weekend, so fit in a 10-minute lower body workout as well. As I mentioned, Friday, total rest day. I did do my 10-minute upper body workout here as well. I just wanted to leave the weekend just purely to running. Got that last strength workout in of Dry January for the Dry January challenge. Successfully completed that aspect of the challenge, and then just rested for the rest of the day, again focusing on recovering my legs, getting ready for the brutal weekend, which I will talk about now. Starting Saturday, you got to see some footage of that run. It was 800 meter repeats. I am learning to just hate the 800 meter or the 3-minute sprint. It is such a tough distance to balance as far as what is the pace that you should be holding. It's not a full out sprint, but it's also a lot faster than what I would consider my comfort zone. To make things worse, as you've seen from past videos, pretty much anytime I'm doing a track workout, the winds are brutal. Today especially, the real field temperature was 4 degrees, so needless to say, it was incredibly cold, but again, felt great by the end of the workout. I feel like I really hit the intervals, or hit the paces that I wanted to during each interval. I felt fast, I felt strong. My legs are so fatigued, but I feel like my form held up. I just felt like despite the pain that I was experiencing, the fatigue I was experiencing, I was able to hit the paces that I wanted to. Total distance for that run, 7.35 miles. So as I mentioned, this is the highest mileage week so far in January by a decent amount. We are just into Saturday and are pretty much on par with some of the weeks that I've had in the past. And Sunday is when my long run is scheduled. So I'm recording this video on Saturday, haven't done the long run yet, but it is going to be a 2-hour endurance run. And of course, because a 2-hour endurance run would be too easy on its own, there's also going to be some tempo runs mixed in. So in the middle of that 2-hour run, I'm going to do 8-minute tempo sprints with 4 minutes rest after each. Do that 3 times total. I am happy that they are at least tempo pace and not running interval pace, so that'll give my legs a little bit of a break. It should definitely be interesting. As I mentioned, my legs are definitely feeling fatigued, but I'm excited for another run, and after tomorrow's run, I just have 1 week left of running interval training till I get the sweet, sweet relief of moving into a slightly slower block of training where I just won't be pounding the pavement quite as hard, give my legs a chance to recover a little bit as we shift focus in training. So that's the week so far. I am at 27.57 miles, not including Sunday's run. So now your goal, if you haven't already, comment down below, what do you think my total mileage for the month of January is going to equal out to? And as I mentioned, I'm going to close the guessing, close the commenting at midnight on February 1st. Whoever is closest without going over is going to snag one of these I Run on Beer hats. I also just want to give a huge thanks to everyone who's tuned in for these Dry January vlog updates. This is something totally new I'm trying this year, and I've really been enjoying it, so I hope you have as well. If you have any questions or recommendations of things that you want to see, let me know that down in the comments below, and I can incorporate those into future videos. And if you are as excited as I am for the end of Dry January, I hope you'll tune into that live video. As I mentioned, it's going to be Monday night. I haven't finalized a time, but I'll put that down in the description below once it is finalized, and I'll have the link to the live feed as well. We are going to be breaking the Dry January fast, enjoying that first ice cold beer of February together, and so I'm just really excited to celebrate with y'all. So if you do not already, please subscribe to the channel so you get more of this content and don't miss out on any of the exciting videos that are coming out in the future. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. That just helps other people find the video as well. And if you absolutely love all the videos I've been putting out, make sure you click that bell as well. That way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video, so you can go in and be one of the first people to see it. I hope you've enjoyed this ride as much as I had. Cheers to the final weekend in Dry January. Maybe in future training updates, these noon glasses will shift to beer glasses. I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.